Hi everyone. My name is Faith. My project is about immigrant advocacy, which is finding resources for immigrant students. And I'll be talking a little bit more about my project. This is my presentation outline. So my introduction, my design process, team prototype, and key lessons. We could go to the next one. I also realized that my project really aligns with CC's project, Cecilia, about immigrants and like trying to help immigrant students. So that was really interesting. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, but yeah. So about me, my name is, sorry. About me, my name is Faith Ansah. I am a college student at Drew University studying computer science. Um, I'm from the Bronx, New York, which I am here right now. So maybe if you hear the backgrounds of the train and like cars, I'm in New York. Um, but yeah, next slide. Okay, so my project. So the main objective of my project was to help the international students at my school um, to find like opportunities and jobs outside of campus because most of them have like problems with their visas and like local markets or local people not accepting them because of their them being international students and not from this country. So my project was to target that problem and to find resources and other nonprofits that could help those students. So yeah. So the main issue is that millions of people confront severe obstacles to immigration despite the universal acknowledgement of the fundamental human right to ask for refuge and to live without persecution. So immigrants find these problems in our country, and when they come to this country, they're seen as people who are coming to take other people's jobs, like people who are domestic, their jobs. So they really find it hard to like maneuver around this country and to be in this system, the system of this country, honestly. But yeah. Um to and sorry to ensure that immigrants receive a fair and just treatment and that their contributions to society are valued. There is more work to be done. The work being to help them and give them aid to live in this country. So my design, um so I use research in this aspect. So most of my research dealt with looking through social media profiles of like nonprofits that help immigrant students and immigrant families. I also interviewed a couple of students on my campus who had issues with finding jobs outside of campus and visa implementations. I also talked to a nonprofit called M Schools, which I worked at as an intern. So M Schools is a nonprofit that helps immigrant students and immigrants' family with resources such as language training to teach them English and to find good safety schools that help students, immigrant students with their visa, their language, they take language classes and etc. So my project was to basically do a Zoom meeting with those people with M schools in my campus. But yeah. Next slide. So my ideation and prototype. So I got this idea after speaking to one of my friends on campus who is an international student from Ethiopia, and we had a mini interview to like discuss how why he's going through that situation and his experiences when working outside of campus and how people treated him because he's an immigrant. So through those ideas, I had this idea to through the conversation, I had the idea to do this project and, you know, hopefully collab with M Schools, which is a nonprofit, to do a Zoom meeting to invite students on my campus and create a discussion about this topic. So the prototype was to eventually do an event on my campus inviting the people who I know that could help international students on my campus. But since the semester is over, I wanted to do the internship the event with just a few people from my nonprofit where I worked and a few people from Creative Reaction Lab as well. But due to scheduling, the meeting couldn't happen, but probably maybe next week or in 2 weeks, we could figure something out. Next slide. So how does this work? So it's a Zoom meeting inviting students, faculty, and prominent people who have experiences with immigration. And some of during the Zoom meeting, there will be activities to get students engaged and to feel comfortable to share their experiences trying to find jobs outside of campus. So equality and equity. In this project, equality and equity were the major aspects of immigrants getting heard and like getting equal resources. I mean, not equal resources, but equity incorporated resources for the students. And through that, I've by being part of this project and being part of Creative Reaction Lab, I've gotten like the distinguished part of equity and equality. Equality means like everything has to be equal, but equity is like based on what the person's experiences or what they need or require, they get their fair share amount of resources. So yeah. Key lessons, what I learned doing this project. So I learned that there are a lot of immigrant students in need of help in finding their way out in a foreign country. I myself, I wouldn't say I was I would say I'm an immigrant, but I was born in the States, but I lived in Ghana, West Africa for 10 years. And coming back to the States was really difficult because I had to like not reimagine, but like refine my way in like the American culture, the money, the language, and like how to write stuff. So a story that I always tell people is my experience is when I was in high school, I write in British English and my teacher would fail me on my essay because my essay was British English and not American English. And I found that so ridiculous because I'm in a new country trying to learn the ways and like how things are done. And they just, failed me just because I'm not doing the right thing per se like to write in American English. So being in a different country is it's a good experience, but also very hard to navigate your way through it. Things I would have done differently. with this presentation is to spend more time talking to my school and my faculty members of my idea of hosting an event on campus to help the international students. But yeah, and that brings to the end of my presentation. I hope everyone is doing great this Saturday afternoon, and good luck to other presenters.